Well, I'm absolutely delighted now to be joined by the ASEE President, Joe Rencis. Joe, welcome.
Well, thank you very much.
Great to see you.
I'm glad to be here today.
How's your year as President been?
Well, last year it started out with a lot of challenges, and we're really pleased with the progress that we've had this past year. So it's a lot better than it was 1 year ago.
So let's get into, as you say around here, dive a little bit into the weeds. How's the role of the ASEE Board of Directors changed?
Yeah, and so that's a good question. So what happens is there's kind of this continuum for the boards. There's one where the board can be more operational in nature, and so they're really doing the day-to-day work of the society, and actually the board doesn't do that. In the past, it's been a managerial board. So really what happens is the board has been managing the operations of the organization or of ASEE, and what we're doing is trying to transition from a managerial board to actually a strategy and policy type of board, and we're kind of working towards that direction. So we still have some of that management, and we're moving into that strategy and policy, and that's something we started actually last year with then President Nick Alturo.
Now, one of the challenges that we've been talking about last year is financial challenges to the organization. You got any update on that for us?
Yeah, and so, well, let's go back a year.
Sure.
Talk a little bit about that. Just on a high level, we had about a $1.2 million deficit a year ago, and we had a $1.5 million recurring debt occurring. And I'm pleased to say our debt has been eliminated.
Wow.
1.2 million is eliminated, and then our 1.5 reoccurring. What we've done this past year is addressed it by really half in really increasing revenues, and the other half taking care of reducing expenditures. And we're going to be operating the black this year, fiscal year, and we're projecting for next fiscal year. So some real positive things have occurred this past year.
Well, that's really positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite a turnaround. But how can members continue to get involved with that?
Well, that's a good question. They can find out more on Tuesday, and from 3 to actually 4:30 on Tuesday afternoon, we're going to actually have a town hall to discuss that, and it's going to be in room 261 here in the Convention Center. We're encouraging everybody to find out what the financial status is, and if they have any questions to ask at that time.
That's great. Now, final question is, we've been talking about strategic doing.
Right.
Now, a lot of people do strategic planning. I do strategic planning, but what's strategic doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So strategic planning, the idea is you actually plan a lot, right, and then you may do something or you may not actually do anything. And in strategic doing, you spend a very short time actually planning, and then you actually start doing something, and you come back and you reevaluate. And so that's something we did last year with the President Nick Alturo. We identified 7 areas that were of interest to the membership, 4 external and 3 internal. And then what we're doing is this year, each of them are working on particular projects.
And that's something else members can get involved in, right?
Yes, that actually is. And there's going to actually be a town hall on Tuesday from 11:30 to 1. And that's going to actually be in the exhibition hall. They'll be able to come and find out more and get involved.
We'll look forward to it. Joe, thanks ever so much
for
joining us today for your year as President. Thank you very much.
Thank you.